Is there anybody out there? Eh, maybe there's somebody out there. Welcome, you 500 comic crypto loving souls. Welcome to Comic Book Club Wednesday, aka middle of the week. Ugh, halfway through the week, everybody. We're gonna make it. So, welcome everyone. Welcome. Gather around. I'm going to be reading through a comic from the marketplace today that we can discuss afterwards. Um, I really wonder what you guys think. This is a golden age comic that I'm able to actually um, read in the marketplace. Our first reading is the classic horror comic Challenge of the Unknown, issue 6. So if you're in your CC dashboard, you can follow along. This one was chosen because it has interesting historical significance. Hmm. That we can talk more about later. You can read along by borrowing the comic in the marketplace, everybody. So that's pretty awesome. Thank you. Thank you, cryptocomics.com. Um, we also have made a limited amount of these classics available as digital collectibles. Yes. So if you like what we are doing, you can support us by picking up your digital collectible issue today. Thank you. Now let's just read. So let me just pull up my dashboard and I'm going to go to Challenges of the Unknown. It's popular this week. Fantastic. Let's see. One of the comics that caused the Comic Code Authority to be established. The gruesome content of this classic 1950s horror comic was used as example of violent and gruesome imagery in the 1950s U.S. congressional inquiries into the influence of comic books on juvenile delinquency that led to the Comics Code Authority. Now I get that shirt. Stories include High Priestess of the Snake People, True Tales of the Supernatural number 1, The Ghost in the Portrait, True Tales of the Supernatural number 2, Villa of the Vampire, Unburied Dead, and No Grave to Hold Him. I'm going to be reading Villa of the Vampire. Got to keep my palate moist so I can read through this. So this is a comic that the e-comics team got into the marketplace. It's a golden age comic, which is really cool. I don't know why it's called golden age. Here, let me see. So this is the front cover. Uh, let's see. Have a slimmer, youthful, feminine appearance instantly. What? Yes. Yes. Reduce your wow, this is crazy. This is an ad in a comic. $3.98. Yeah. You're going out of business these days. Right on. Rock Toys, nicely done. Well, join me because there's some really weird advertisements going on here. I haven't even got to the story yet. You will look like and feel like this beautiful model in your new. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. I wonder what they paid for the advertisement. The 10-cent comic. Huh. So these are the other anthologies or short stories, I guess you would call them. Man, look at that. Now, if anybody's wondering, I believe that the way that we're able to enjoy this comic is that it was actually scanned to be online. Let's see, Villa of the Vampire. A full moon rises over the Villa de Peny. A shaft of silver penetrates the hidden crypt of a monster who has slain 3 victims every generation for over 400 years. A gleam of light touches the black clad corpse. It stirs. A red tongue moves slowly, hungrily over demonic lips. Demonish lips. Parched for the liquid that will sustain its fiendish life for yet another 25 years. Dang, three bodies for 25 years? No, that would be, no, that's only 75 years. What did they say? The vampire of the Villa de Penny appears in the moonlight, in all its horrifying awesomeness, nor shall the fiend return to his hiding place till he has drained the blood from the veins of yet another victim. For 15 years, the Villa de Penny has been for sale, and now its price was suspiciously low. To some, this may have seemed a bad omen, but the passion of Mrs. Ina Lorday for souvenir collecting surpassed all common sense. Robert won't like the idea of all things bring back from a European trip. An Italian villa that once belonged to the D. Penny family. Really, mother? Your husband doesn't know what to do with his money. I do. We'll take the villa, Luigi. But you did not tell your daughter about the menace. Utter nonsense. A vampire buried somewhere on the premises? Foolish superstition. No, Sigorna. This vampire is real. In 1545, Nicolas de Pany murdered his wife. Rather than spending his life in prison, he took poison. A trusted servant is said to have hidden his body, and it was this servant who became the first victim of his master, who had turned into a vampire. And even now, with every new generation, about every 25 years, the vampire stirs from his hiding place and seeks a few victims to replenish his strength. I have seen a dead one, his throat pierced as if a bat's sharp fangs had been at work. You mean this vampire is concealed somewhere in the villa and will be taking it with us to America? I don't believe in such nonsense, Eleanor. We're taking the villa, Luigi. Go to work at once. Far away from the ancient hills of northern Italy, a cablegram arrives at the club of Robert Newland, young millionaire. Shipping in an entire Italian villa to America? It's not it's not Eleanor's doing, Doc. It's her mother. I know Eleanor married me for my money, but I love her. Doc, somehow I feel underneath she'd return that love if not for the wicked ambitions of her mother. Mrs. Lourdes drove her husband to bankruptcy and death in prison to keep her satisfied. She raised Eleanor with the express purpose of marrying a rich man so that she could take up where she left off. I don't really like this lady. I know Eleanor's dominated by her mother, but I'm trusting in Eleanor's inner love for me. It's a hard bond to break. Meanwhile, across the sea, as the full moon suffices the night with eerie beauty. Oh, and for all of you good readers out there, I'm sorry if I'm just like totally slaughtering words. Meanwhile, across the sea, as the full moon suffuses the night with eerie beauty, sorry, Sigorna, I cannot take the boat out. The vampire may walk tonight. We can go boating on the lake another night, mother. No, I'll show you money is more powerful than superstition. 10,000 lire to take the Sigorna and her daughter boating. Surely the Sigorna jests. Does that look like a jest? Who will take it? What do you say now to the power of money? The Sigorna has done a wrong thing. Somebody will die for that 10,000 lire. Soon, there's our villa by moonlight. What's so frightening about it? Fear of vampires went out with the Middle Ages. All the same, Sigorna, we hope when you take the villa to America, the vampire will go with you. Shortly after. Alfredo, I left my shawl at the boat dock. Go back and get it. We'll wait for you here. But Sigourney, it's almost half a mile through the dark wood. Oh. At least lend me your lantern, Sigourney. What is there in this forest to be afraid of? Hoot owls? Mosquitoes? Off with you, you fool. With leaden feet, Alfredo creeps through the shadowy darkness, quaking at every step, trembling at every sound of his own heavy breathing. For many years, the vampire has left the people of our village alone. Now, perhaps this voyage to America may arouse him once more. We were all mad to do the Sigourney's bidding. Gasp! The vampire! Ew! But listen how he's screaming. Something terrible must have happened. The idiot probably tripped over his own shadow. Let's go back to the inn. Following day near the lakeshore. It's horrible. Probably some wild animal attacked him. Later. Forget the killing, Eleanor. Think about living in this beautiful villa back home. Nothing about this villa is beautiful. It's repulsive, frightening. I'm sorry I ever saw it. Months later, as the villa achieves virtual reincarnation on the banks of an American river, but if you were afraid, why did you buy the house? Mother insisted. Oh, why do you keep asking me questions? If you don't like what I do, leave me. But I love you, Eleanor. You'd return that love if you could only break away from your mother. What is this hold she has over you? How dare you turn my daughter against me? Get out of this house. Get out. She has no right to make Robert leave. He paid for this villa. How can he love me after the shabby way I've treated him? This terrace, this beautiful fountain of youth, I'm going to walk around and drink in all this intoxicating beauty. And as Mrs. Lorday walks and exults, the full moon grows brighter and bloodier, till the moonbeams themselves turn into red and gold. At the fountain of youth, a crack appears in the statue, an ever widening opening. A hairy hand with long claw like nails comes forth, and then the kind of face one sees only in nightmares. But this is no dream. Mrs. Lorday shrinks from the bat like shape, her eyes widen with horror. A stifled scream is choked off. Ah! The next morning, the lifeless body is found by the gardener. Vampire? Mrs. Nolan. But there are no vampires. This was done by some wandering maniac. Maybe he's right. Maybe the killing can be explained a wild beast, a maniac on the loose. The next day after the funeral, I tried to make the funeral, Eleanor, but my plane was grounded in Boston. I'm sorry about your mother, but I'm worried sick about you. Whether there's anything to this vampire legend or not, I want you out of here. You'd like that, wouldn't you? In fact, perhaps you had someone murder mother to remove you put it her evil influence over me. You think that's your mother's unholy influence has become so much a part of you, you've even begun to think like her? Let go of me. I won't go. You can't make me. You stabbed me. Oh, shiz. You drove me to it. Now get out. Don't ever come back. I don't want to see you ever again. At Doc Brower's office. Do I believe in vampires? No. But many strange things happen that can't be explained away by science. But I'd worry more about Eleanor's behavior. She's still under her mother's influence. I must be at the Villa de Panay the next night of the full moon. I don't dare leave her alone, vampire or no vampire. The month passes swiftly. Then one night. What took you so long, Doc? You know I wanted to be at the villa in time for the full moon. Couldn't help it, Bob. My patient was pretty low, had to give him glucose intravenously. That takes time. Stow this transfusion apparatus in the back of your car. At the villa, a figure out of the past stalks silently toward the library, a figure neither dead nor alive, and all the more horrible for it. Strange, I thought I heard a sound on the terrace. The servants went off for the night. Ah! Stay away from me. Oh, help me. Moments later outside. That's odd. That statue is open. Is it supposed to be hollow? Ah! Listen, a scream. It's Eleanor. If that fiend's killed her, I'll kill him with my bare hands. No, Bob, don't go near him. He's not human. Nobody can fight a vampire with mortal weapons. Take this mirror. The image of himself is supposed to drive him away. The mirror works all right. He can't come near me. He's running away, but how can I kill him, Doc? How can I rid the world of this monster? There's no time for that now. Eleanor's lost a lot of blood. She has a chance if you hurry and get that intravenous equipment out of the car. I might save her life with a blood transfusion. Science works its miracle. Minutes later, as life giving blood streams in a sustaining flow from husband to wife. Oh, Robert, Robert, darling, I've always loved you, but something came over me. It was mother's bad influence. I know, darling, but you're going to be all right. Delusional. You better lie down too, Bob. You gave up an awful lot of blood. Say what are you going to do with that spear? The, they say only a stake through the heart can kill a vampire. I'll soon find out. Robert Nolan approaches the half open statue. His muscular arm draws back. The spear is hurled. Nothing here but a handful of dust in this bat ring. Robert, the vampire, he's no legend. He's real. He was real, darling. He's gone now. Never to return. There's only you and me now, and love for eternity. The end. And this is one of the anthology stories that you can read if you so choose. So, I hope you all enjoyed that. That was kind of fun. Um, Let me hit on some interesting. Oh wow, that was crazy. My stuff went. Oh, thank you, Rayla. Thank you for clapping. That was so kind of you. Oh hey, check it out. Some people showed up. What's up, y'all? Thanks for joining me. Yeah, I realize it joins for 59 years, and isn't that awesome? Like I'm gonna be dead before I have to give it up. It's awesome. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. So, this sounds like one of them telenovela. Telenovela? What's a telenovela, Bry? Do you know? What's a telenovela, Frog? I don't. What's a telenovela? I've heard that before. Telenovela. She dead. Yeah, she should have been dead. The fact that she was alive, and it's kind of crazy because that was a really short story, and so some interesting facts. Yeah, you guys will dig this, right? So this comic was used in 1954 at a senator's hearing, which helped establish the Comic Code Authority. Like that's absolutely wild. Like, did you guys find it to be extremely violent or like something that you wouldn't show your kid? Because I'll tell you, my kid's seen a lot worse. I swear. What's this? Hey, if you borrow it, can you leave a review or is it only for those who bought a copy? Ooh, great question. I'm not 100% sure. Let me see here. I don't see anywhere where I can leave a review. Let me double check. Because when I read now, I go right into the book. I'll have to ask Fry. Fry. Hey, Fry. Fry.
Reviews
Hey.
are limited to people who purchase the book.
Okay. All right. There's your answer, guys. There's your answer. Thank you. Goodbye. There's your answer, guys. Yeah. Reviews are, what's this? Telenovela. Telenovela. Dude, how do you guys like this mic, right? Is this not so cool? It condenses my throat vocals. This telenovela. Noun in Latin American, a television soap opera. Oh, no kidding. Was it? That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know if that was actually anything like that. It's short. It's only 6 pages long, which is really interesting. Like, how, is this? Did the comic? Well, actually, I do have some more information to share with you guys. So let me find the credits on this. It is.
I'm going to cut you off here real quick, Jared. Hey,
Go.
Rayla, if that's a feature that you would like to see, let us know. We could probably add that so that you could leave reviews for a borrowed book. I'd have to talk to the team about it though. And I'm not supposed to be jumping on like this, but we like to break rules around here.
We have rules.
Hey, Fructose. All right, I'm jumping back off.
All right, thank you. I'm trying to find, and I don't know if you know where they are, but I'm trying to find the credits. I saw them somewhere for who created that comic. Did you see the credits on this one, Fry?
Yep, you've got them in the notes there, buddy.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Where are they?
I believe it's towards the end of your notes. This pledge you by Lindsay. Learning curve, everybody. Bear with us.
The nitty and the code prohibits the use. No, 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 no. I still don't see it. Huh. I don't see the creds, but some cool, interesting things. By 1954, publishers were selling. The reason why this is a golden age comic, okay, guys. Wait, what? I would love that. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Thanks for the suggestion, Rayla. Um. Oh, so this is a golden age comic, and let's see. The reason it's called the Golden Age comic is by 1954, publishers were selling about 1.2 billion comic books each year. Comics were popular at the affordable cost of 10 cents per issue. Ha! Dang, that's cool. 10 cents per issue. Children purchased most of these comic books. So, so this was being purchased by children, and that is why senators got involved and they were like, "Hey, man, we need to do something about this." Yeah, they're so helpful. Let's see. Very interesting. This popularity introduced scrutiny, fear of the comic book menace. So this contributed to to a slang that they were saying this is the comic book menace. Oh my gosh, guys. So we could be the comic book club. No, the comic book menace club on Wednesday, aka middle of the week. The comic book menace to children was so intense that the Senate convened hearings on April 21st, April 22nd, and June 4th, 1954 to determine whether comic books were corrupting the nation's youth. What does that remind you guys of? What does that remind you guys of? Ooh, it might be. It didn't seem that bad. So I'm thinking like video games. Um, that's one thing I'm thinking because they associate a lot of ideas with, oh, video games encourage kids to be bad and stuff like that. And maybe there are some that do that. There are some pretty crazy video games out there. However, that's pretty interesting that you have the comics being that same, like back in the 50s, being that same level of scrutiny. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see. Oh, by the way, this is nightcap, so feel free to pour yourself something to drink and have a drink with me. Um, so let's see. The con so what happened was is the Comic Magazine Association of America decided to self-regulate their industry, and on October 26, 1954, the CMAA adopted a lengthy comics code restricting comic book content. So that's when they started creating the rules that were so helpful. They did so much good. Of course, we love them and follow their, code, obviously. Um, Regulations in the 1954 Comics Code included. So, hey, did you make it so we could pop these up, Friar? Do I gotta like read them one by one?
Read them one by one,
I
sucker.
knew you were gonna say that. Get out of here. All right. So the first one: no comics shall explicitly present the unique details and methods of a crime. What? No comic shall explicitly present the unique details and methods of a crime. You can't show any crime. Like like so you couldn't show blood splatter or anything like that, I would assume, because that would be unique details. Oh no, no, it's unique details and methods. So let's see. Policemen, judges, government officials, and respected institutions shall never be presented in such a way as to create disrespect for established authority. Okay, okay. Shut the front door. You can't talk bad about us. Hey, that's not fair. You can't talk bad about it. Whatever. Shut the front door. Oh my gosh. All scenes of horror, excessive bloodshed, gory or gruesome crimes, depravity, lust, sadism, masochism shall not be permitted. Eh, well, that does. So, I mean, like at any level, what sets those levels? Like, what defines gruesome? What defines depravity? What defines lust? Because I mean, you could just see the silhouette of a woman, but clothed, but a form-fitting silhouette, and some would say that's lustful. You know what I mean? Like these are very generalized. You know what I'm saying? Gives too much power to the elitists. All characters shall be depicted in dress reasonably acceptable to society. Hmm. Yeah. I wonder what the Comic Code administrator Charles F. Murphy, a former New York City magistrate, led a team of reviewers to scrutinize all comic books before they were printed. The Comics Code Authority bestowed the seal of approval upon those he deemed acceptable. The impact of the code was immediately apparent. The code prohibited the use of horror or terror in comic titles and banned the depiction of walking dead, torture, vampires, vampirism, ghouls, cannibalism, and werewolfism. What? What? No werewolves? Come on, man. I want to see something werewolf out. Just pull. You know what I'm saying? Like my face. It's like, oh, come on. Don't take that away from me. Ugh. So oppressive. You know what I'm saying? Ugh. Sorry, I have a new mic. I hope I'm not blowing anybody's ears out. How do you think? So, how do you guys think this affected comics? Because it said that it affected comics. I mean, I'm thinking, hold on one second. Let me catch up here. Right? Right? That was, which rule was that? Which one was the one that made sense? That the third one? 'Cause I'm thinking you said that around the third one. Where were you on that one, Fry? I didn't even see when she said that. I ain't paying attention. Wait. Well, that definition sure has changed. From what to what? Hey, Fry. Oh, thank you. Fry, find out how the definition from whelp to whelp has changed. I want to know. Inquiring minds want to Google. Let's see.
Then they should Google it, Jared. That's
Wh-
interaction.
No, man. Well, yeah,
Great
but
job, Brayla. Great
if
job. I was following along with what you were saying in the chat. Jared's having a hard time keeping up. This is a new format. Great job.
hey, she's so sweet, and she said I did a good job. Thank you. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is insane. So, an interesting question that it brings up is because of the Comic Code Authority, could that be why more comics went to superheroes and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? That's an interesting perspective. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know which one. Yeah, that was the third one. Yeah, see, I thought it was the third one. That was the only one that made sense to me too, Rayla. That was the only one that made sense to me. All right, so The code was updated from time to time, but lasted for decades. By the early 2000s, publishers bypassed the Comics Code Authority, and Marvel Comics abandoned it in 2001. By 2010, only three major publishers still adhered to it: DC Comics, Archie Comics, and Bongo Comics. Bongo broke with the CCA in 2010. DC and Archie followed in January 2011, rendering the code completely defunct. Yeah! Get the flunk out of town! That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Obviously, back then, I mean, I'm thinking about I'm thinking about this comic that we just read, you know, and I like I just can't this isn't I mean, okay, the most gruesome part of this whole comic that I just read had to have been when he threw the spear through here. That's Let me get a close up here. So right there. That's that's the what? I don't know. Wow. Wow. People were so sheltered back then. I mean, just think what you see on TV today. My goodness. We've come a long way, haven't we, y'all? Well, thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed this comic book club Wednesday, aka middle of the week. We're halfway there, everybody. Just a few more days. A few more days. We're only halfway through the week. We can do this. So thank you for joining us. I hope you liked it. We look forward to reading another comic with you again soon. Catch you later, everybody.